Have you ever felt anger, resentment, or a desire to get back at someone who has wronged you? Have you ever wanted to get back at them or make them suffer as much as they made you suffer? Have you spent time and energy thinking about a plan of revenge or fantasized about the best way to deal with your enemies? These people can be our rivals, critics, haters, and even relatives or friends who have betrayed or wronged us. But what if there is a better way to deal with those who have wronged us? A way that has no room for fighting, violence, or aggression? Is there a path to wisdom, virtue, and self-control that will not only help you defeat your enemies, but will turn you into the best person possible, free from negative emotions and living in harmony with yourself, others, and nature? Yes, there is such a path. It is the path of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us that the only things that are truly under our control are our own judgments, opinions, and actions, and everything else is out of our control and irrelevant. Therefore, we should focus on what we can control, not allowing external circumstances to disturb our peace of mind. Thus, Stoicism is not a passive or indifferent stance, but rather an active and rational one that allows us to live in accordance with our nature and reason and enables us to accept any challenge, obstacle, or disagreement with courage, wisdom, and dignity. How can Stoicism help us defeat our enemies without a fight? Here are 7 ways based on the teachings of the Stoic philosophers. Know that your enemy is not an enemy, but a teacher. Realize that your enemy serves as a powerful teacher in the school of life. Rather than seeing him or her as an evil force, see your enemy as a catalyst for growth, challenging your abilities, exposing your weaknesses, and pointing out areas in which you need to improve. As the eminent Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to get revenge is not to become like the offender." This saying emphasizes the importance of overcoming hostility and cultivating good people in response to adversity and obstacles. Obstacles foster growth. Instead of giving in to anger or resentment, embrace the difficulties created by your enemy as a means of developing resilience, perseverance, and wisdom, self-reflection, and self-control. Ask yourself this question: in what ways is my shortcoming most similar to the one I am about to criticize? This introspective approach forces you to recognize your own shortcomings before passing judgment on others and cultivates humility and compassion. So instead of harboring hatred or taking revenge on your enemy, consider expressing gratitude for the lessons he or she has taught you. Recognize the possibility of reconciliation. Shift your focus from seeing your enemy as a threat to accepting him as a unique gift, a blessing that pushes you towards self-discovery and personal development. Not only will you neutralize the negative influence of your enemy, but you will rise above him or her without resorting to physical conflict. It is not the enemy who is the cause of your suffering, but your judgment. The cause of your suffering lies in your judgment. Your desire to neutralize the power of the enemy without resorting to physical confrontation is an important point. The second important point is to realize that your enemy is not the primary cause of your suffering. In fact, it is your own judgments that have this power. Your enemy does not directly cause you anger, sadness, or fear. Rather, it is your interpretation of his actions and your own actions that are the cause of your suffering. Your enemy works in this way, like a mirror reflecting the inner landscape of your mind and emotions. He illuminates the areas where your judgment is skewed, where irrationality and emotional reactivity are lacking. Your enemy is a mirror reflecting the inner landscape of your mind and emotions. It illuminates the areas where your judgment is skewed, where irrationality and emotional reactivity govern your actions, the inner landscape of your mind and emotions. In this context, your opponent acts as a catalyst, revealing patterns of unrealistic expectations and highlighting the deep-seated attachments and aversions you have to external causes. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who himself emerged from slavery and became a respected teacher, articulated this idea in his Enchiridion. People are not concerned with events, but with their judgments about them. This fundamental idea refutes the notion that external events have an innate ability to disturb a person's peace of mind. On the contrary, emotional response is determined by the prism through which these events are interpreted. People are not concerned with things, but with the views they take on them. This pushes us into the inner realm, encouraging people to realize that their perceptions and interpretations play a key role in determining their emotional state. By realizing that your experiences are not solely the enemy's fault, you have the opportunity to change your reactions and cultivate resilience. Insults do not inherently hurt them. On the contrary, interjecting and feeling judged leads to feeling insulted. This requires a profound shift in perspective from attributing blame to the outside world to taking responsibility for one's own interpretations and reactions. Instead of directing blame, grievances, or resentment at the person, you are more likely to blame the misbehavior on the person themselves. The person is more likely to be blamed for the person's misbehavior, and the person is more likely to be blamed for his or her own interpretations and emotional reactions. Instead of sending accusations, complaints, or resentments to your enemy, go on a transformative journey. Challenge your assumptions, scrutinize your judgment, and seek to change your perspective. Instead of seeing your enemy as a source of pain, suffering, and fear, recognize them as a catalyst for deep self-awareness, wisdom, joy, and courage. In such a paradigm, your enemy becomes an unwitting guide leading you down the path of inner freedom and liberation from circumstances that are not under your control. The third point is to understand them. The main strategy for neutralizing your enemy without resorting to physical conflict is to immerse yourself in the realm of understanding. To do this, you need to understand the reasons why they have become your adversaries, discern their desires, and unravel the intricacies of their thought processes. The key is to perceive them as they really are, not through the prism of imagination or preconceived notions. A deep understanding of your enemy allows you to approach potential conflicts intelligently. This understanding also allows one to discover his humanity, to see his imperfections, vulnerabilities, and internal struggles. This understanding shatters the simplistic notion that they are inherently evil, turning them into people who are wrong rather than different. Understanding your enemy also allows you to look into the mirror of your own psyche. In it, you can see the triggers of your anger, threats to your ego, and challenges to your values. Carefully examining your reactions and motives takes you on a journey of self-discovery. This introspective process gives you the opportunity to learn from your mistakes, improve your character, and develop wisdom within yourself. Seneca, a respected Stoic philosopher, succinctly articulated this transformative approach. The best way to defeat an enemy is to make him a friend. This aphorism goes beyond the conventional understanding of defeating your enemy through force, encouraging people to explore transformative transformation not in an external shift, but in understanding both sides. By understanding your enemy, you will be able to understand yourself. You will be able to see what triggers your anger, what threatens your ego, and what challenges your values. You will be able to analyze your own motives, actions, and consequences. You can learn from your mistakes, improve your character, and develop wisdom within yourself. The third strategy is the art of intentional ignoring. It involves a conscious decision to divert attention away from your enemy, choosing not to notice their words, actions, or very presence. An approach that involves treating your enemy in such a way that they are invisible or beneath your notice. Ignoring your enemy serves as a formidable tactic, often accompanied by provocation, harming them, Demonstrating indifference to their attempts to disrupt, you make it clear that they have no influence on your emotions, actions, or well-being. It not only deprives them of the expected response. Moreover, intentionally ignoring your enemy allows you to refocus your attention on aspects of life that bring you joy, align with your goals, and promote personal growth. This shift in consciousness allows you to overcome the negativity associated with conflict and invest your time and energy in what is truly important to you. By ignoring your enemy, you create the mental and emotional space to appreciate the positives in your life, cultivating a good mindset and positive attitude. This, in turn, will allow you to prepare for the future with clarity and peace of mind. This approach encourages one to step out of the cycle of revenge and negativity, urging one to rise above the impulse to mirror the actions of one's opponents. By choosing the path of non-interference and conscious ignoring, you not only protect yourself from irritants, but also make yourself a better person. You can achieve your goals, cultivate virtue, and enjoy life. You can live in the present, appreciate the good things, and prepare for the future. Forgive them. On a deep journey to disarm your enemy without resorting to physical combat, forgive them. This means letting go of the offense, releasing yourself from it, and refusing to retaliate for any long-term desire. Forgiveness opens the door to the possibility of reconciliation, cooperation, or even the budding of an unexpected friendship. It is an act of generosity that demonstrates that you are not a slave to your emotions, but the master of your mind. It is a process that not only heals the enemy, but also helps to restore inner peace, allowing emotional calm and peace to return to your soul. Forgiveness, chosen over revenge, reflects inner strength and generosity. It is a manifestation of a gentle and enlightened character. It is not just a tactical decision, but a reflection of the inner strength that comes from overcoming the lower instincts and embracing the higher virtues, compassion and understanding. Overcoming them is a dance to eliminate the enemy without resorting to physical confrontation. The sixth strategy is the art of defeating the adversary by using your intellect, creativity, and strategic acumen to overcome the difficulties of conflict and emerge victorious through the power of intelligence and ingenuity. Defeating your adversary is a testament to your long-term vision to avoid unnecessary risk, overcome dangerous obstacles, and achieve results that align with your goals. This strategic approach not only protects you but also positions you as a master of the chessboard, subtly anticipating moves, the element of surprise, hindrance, or delight that accompanies outmaneuvering an opponent can inspire respect, admiration, or even awe. By demonstrating your intellectual dominance, skill, and superiority, you raise your profile and show that you are not a player but a master,